What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Anastas, also go by roles at production, and I make tutorials on how to shoot and edit better videos and also sprinkle in some business of filmmaking tips throughout. In today's video, I want to hop on here and chat a little bit about my predictions of where the future of high-paying videographers and editors lies. So I first picked up a camera 10 years ago. This was back when the only people creating filmmaking YouTube tutorials that were relatable to freelancers were Jacob Owens of Buff Nerds Media, YC Imaging, and Creative Ryan. Those are just kind of the ones that I guess stand out to me because those are the creators that I came up watching a lot of because I started with shooting a lot of music videos. So back a decade ago, this was a time where DJI was just releasing their Ronin, which was literally this big 20-pound rig and costed like $3,000 USD. Not a lot of filmmakers filmed handheld. Everyone was trying to invest into a gimbal of some sort and rely solely on that piece of equipment to get a shot. Where fast forward even 6 years from then, we've seen a big shift into handheld filmmaking. I honestly remember when I first got into shooting videos, I would film automotive event recap videos with my Canon T3i, and no word of a lie, at a car meet with like 600 plus cars, the only people with a camera in their hand was quite literally me and an on-site photographer that was a part of the organization putting on the car meet. Then last weekend, I was at a car meet with my buddy, and it was hilarious because there was a car meet of about the similar sizes to what I just mentioned, like way back when. And I swear like every second or third person had just a starter camera with a kit lens or a professional looking camera taking photos, or there was like so many people running around with gimbals just shooting content. I feel that back then, being a videographer or photographer was literally the most niche thing you could possibly get into because of the lack of support there was to actually learn the skill set. Like, there was such a lack of free education on YouTube. There weren't any online courses. So the vast majority of people just assumed that the only way to get into this creative space was to go to film school, which again, fast forward to present time, I'm sure that film schools all across North America have probably seen quite an impact and decline in student enrollment in film programs just because people can just learn how to do this stuff for free or purchase an online course by a creator who's a successful filmmaker. Not only that, but back then, DaVinci Resolve I don't think was even around, and the only two professional programs were Final Cut Pro 10 if you're on a Mac user, or Premiere Pro if you're on a PC. So I guess we were just living in different times technology-wise. This was also a day and age where really the only way to make money shooting and editing videos was to have video clients. So you had to actually physically be on set and then edit the content. Nowadays, people like myself have online courses, which if you want to check them out, they're in the link in description. I have a music video course as well as an automotive video course. Creators now supplement some of their income with being influencers and either getting paid to create UGC content or getting referral kickback money on products they sell for film-related companies. You know, there's monthly retainer video clients, and this is where businesses will hire a creative to shoot and edit consistent social media content on a month-to-month or quarterly basis. And of course, the big spike in businesses literally only caring for social media content over website or high-end commercial content. The game has obviously changed, and it's changed very rapidly. So if you're a beginner videographer watching this video, you may even be at a point in your up-and-coming career where everything feels noisy and overwhelming. It's tough to niche down because there's so much competition no matter where you live. Now, with an overly saturated market, it's very easy to tell what content is shit and what is not shit. There's usually a pretty big gap in between the good and the bad. So when you're a beginner, you're shooting free videos, maybe your largest budgets are within the $100 to $300 range, and it's kind of just a side hustle at this point. Now, obviously, we all got to start somewhere. I mean, I shot free videos for years before I took the dive into, doing this full time and making a living doing it. Now, for me, when I was a beginner, I used to actually work for a marketing agency for a few years, filming videos full time. On top of this 9-to-5 job, I would be filming videos on the side, which included automotive, fitness, wellness, corporate, wedding, and even music videos. Now, this was a lot of work. I worked 24/7, but I was also only 21 years old. And at the time, I think I was grossing around $75,000 or $80,000 per year, which I think is a substantial amount of money considering that age. most of my friends at the time were all still working part-time jobs at restaurants on weekends, and they were actually in school full-time working towards a degree. Now, I decided I wanted the freedom of freelancing eventually and decided to leave this full-time job, which obviously my annual income dipped substantially, as it was a pretty rude awakening that I now had to find the clientele, start pitching higher budget video jobs, start tapping into more higher budget corporate video work, doing the business backend, which included accounting, invoicing, and learning all these things just overnight. So I lasted about a year before I partnered with another local videographer and we started a video production company. So I guess you could say that we went more legit. Year one, I want to say we grossed around $100,000, so we had a six-figure business right off the rip. Year two, we doubled and made over $200,000, and about a quarter into year two, I decided that a video production company just wasn't something I saw myself involved in long term, and I decided to look for an exit, and I actually left and the company ended up just being dissolved. And since then, I've been freelancing under roles at production. So I wanted to lay all of this out because I've experienced a lot as an entrepreneur. I've experienced having a 9-to-5 in the creative field. I've experienced failure when freelancing. I've experienced what it takes to run a video production company with staff and a business partner. And I've just learned a lot about business and what it actually takes to scale a company to not only a six-figure company, but I've also put a ton of thought into what it takes to build a seven-figure, million-dollar company, which I honestly have yet to experience. I'm not making this video, talking about like money is everything. I'm so materialistic. Like, I'm not a materialistic person, but it's all about your financial goals and just goals in general with your career. It's like, if we are in a industry where there is no ceiling to how much money you can make, we've already established that we love this niche and we love shooting and editing videos. We love being a creative full-time and having that freedom to do whatever you want and create your own schedule. We love that feeling. We love everything about videography. What's the next step? Well, the first step is obviously always making the $100,000, but once you do hit that 100K, do you want to just consistently keep making $100,000? I mean, some people might want that, but for me personally, I have always just had big goals and big dreams, and I want to see what's past that $100,000 mark. So that's why I'm kind of creating this video and talking about all these things. Back to when I left this old production company that I was a part of for just over 2 years, and now I'm back freelancing on my own, I thought to myself, okay, I've learned how to make six figures, and I feel like once you figure out how to make six figures as a videographer, this light bulb moment hits and you kind of think, well, that wasn't that bad. But I will say that the first 100K is probably the most difficult to make in 1 year. But once you do hit it, now you're probably teetering the idea of how the hell can I scale, 2x, 5x, 10x, and try to get to $1 million revenue mark. With my personal experience as a videographer and projecting numbers year after year, I believe that there's only a few ways that you can do that. One is you start a production company, you hire staff, you have systems in place, you shoot higher budget videos, you have retainer clients, higher budget one-off commercials, and to hit that million revenue in a year, you're probably going to need a team of at least like 5. Number 2 is you're a freelancer who builds passive income streams on top of filming higher budget videos. So maybe you go the route of learning how to create online courses and create an online course ecosystem similar to what Parker Wallback at Full-Time Filmmaker did. Maybe on top of that, you create YouTube content and plug referral links like I do, for example, for Epidemic Sound. Basically, all I do is just give a 30-day free trial to the platform. So I give people something free in return for if they do sign up, then I get a percentage of the reoccurring revenue as a kickback every single month. And maybe on top of that, you also open up an online digital asset shop selling ebooks, LUTs, photo presets, transition packs, and more. And lastly, number 3, you use the money you make from video to invest far past anything in the realm of filmmaking. That could be using the money to purchase real estate. Maybe it's getting involved in a partnership with a business outside of the scope of being a filmmaker or creative. but the funds being made from filmmaking are getting used or being used to get into income streams that are more scalable and long-term than physically being on set and editing out projects. Now, what I've actually recently done about 7 months ago is get involved in a business selling portable ice baths or cold plunges. My business partner Adam, who has been featured over the years on this channel for my fitness video tutorials, hit me up one day and said, hey, I think we should start a business selling these portable ice baths. One, they actually work and there's science backing the results of ice bathing. And two, I will handle all the logistics while you take on a full marketing takeover. This was very interesting to me as I was being asked to partner with somebody because of my marketing, videography, and editing skills. This is what my predictions of where the future of seven-figure creatives lies. I believe that we will start seeing more videographers partnering up with entrepreneurs to be the lead marketing coordinators for physical products or service-based industries that have absolutely nothing to do with filmmaking. I know, it sounds pretty crazy. The plus side of this for the business partner who isn't the creative is the business you guys start together literally has zero overhead other than incorporating the business or LLC, setting up an online shop like we did, building a website, and of course, marketing dollars in regards to running paid advertisement. So arguably the most expensive part about starting a new business is probably having quality social media, ad, and website content. But if you have a content creator who's a professional, then this entire bill is waived because that content creator has equity in the business and is a part of that business. AKA, that's exactly what I'm doing with this business called Creo. Now I'll say this, if I were to invoice every single hour that's been put into pre-production, production, editing, gear costs, travel, social media management, this one single client would be well over 6 figures in like 7 months, well over 6 figures. But we didn't have to pay a cent because I'm a co-founder and a part owner of the business. Now, by having a pro content creator on the team, your socials now have high-end video and photo work all over it, giving this business instant credibility because it looks established and very professional. And to actually make sales in e-commerce, your content needs to look professional and well handled, whether it's on your website, social media platforms, and especially your paid advertisement. A good example of credibility and how important it is, and I will say that this is where my business partner Adam has come in, and he's the one that does all the networking for us. But in a short 7 months of starting this portable cold plunge business, we've collaborated with people such as DJ Diplo, Andy Elliott, Sugar Sean's UFC trainer Tim Welch, one of the most elite snowboarders in the world, Mark McMorris, the Edmonton Oilers NHL hockey team, and the list of people we're unable to even name drop at this time literally blows my damn mind. Now, going back to filmmaking and scalability as a filmmaker. As a freelancer, like I said, the chances of you making $1 million as a one-man crew is pretty much impossible. However, leveraging your skills as a content creator to get involved into a business that is scalable is much more attainable. My biggest role within our business Creo is filming and editing digital ads that convert. Once one of our ads hits, we pour more and more money into that ad and scale that digital ad. Not to mention, we have an influencer or ambassador program set up, so people who believe in our product and use it daily push their discount code to their followers to get a kickback on sales, which in turn doesn't actually cost us anything other than paying out the UGC creative, but passively makes us sales without having to spend marketing dollars. This is just one of many other streams of scaling within the business that we use. And not to mention, obviously getting our product in the hands of high influence people and showing social proof of these people using our product, which again, increases credibility in our brand and product. So again, my prediction in the next few years of filmmaking is we will be seeing a wave of content creators partnering with others to create consistent, high quality content in service or e-commerce based industries that are legitimately scalable, where there is no ceiling to your sales. It's honestly really funny because this took me literally almost like 10 years to figure out and come to this conclusion. Why I talked about my upbringing as a creative is because the game has simply changed and it's changing at a rapid rate. I don't think that this is something that will happen overnight. So don't just sit there thinking, shit, I need to start an e-commerce brand like literally yesterday. But it's something to consider because I believe that this mindset is so overlooked by content creators right now due to the amount of noise that's going on social media. So I think that if you can get into a business that you can scale that isn't a video production company, is probably the way that you could actually realistically create a 7-figure business over the course of 2, 3, or even 5 years. In my opinion, a lot quicker than if you were to just be a freelance videographer. Now, to close this video, I will say again, I have never made $1 million in a year. I haven't honestly come close, but with this ice bath business, seeing how quickly it's scaled in such a short period of time, we're on track and have all the systems in place to build and scale into a 7-figure business, and ultimately going into this with the intentions of eventually dissolving the business with a lot of money in the bank that gets dispersed evenly, or having the proper systems in place to make this a turnkey business so it can be exited in that 7-figure range. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's quite different from what you normally see on the channel, but honestly, if this video helps inspire just one person, then that's all I really ask for with this type of content. And I hope you understand that the reason why I guess I've fallen off of posting on this platform is really just the opportunity cost of creating the content. It's just not there compared to what opportunity lies literally right in front of me at this time. I do plan to pop in and out here to give you guys updates on how things are going, what the next move is. If you have any questions, feel free to toss them in the comments down below. Or if you want to have a more personable conversation, feel free to shoot me a DM at visuals by RoyalZ. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Catch you in the next video. Peace.